Yo. Yes, yes, yes. Get up in here. If you would please, somebody, if you can hear me, go ahead and hit that like button for me so that I know what we are. That we good. You guys seen what we just started with? Of course, that's the topic of discussion right now. Let me start by doing this right here. Let's do this right here. Let's do this right chat. Right chat. Okay. Okay, if you would please remember, visit our merch store, help out the broadcast. Um, we do have a cash app that we will, if you want to help donate to the broadcast, you can definitely do that. Um, got a bunch of stuff I want to talk about this evening surrounding that whole situation. Now, I do have some information from a source out of um, from the Woodland High School, but I can't reveal that source tonight, and I'm not going to reveal that source tonight because I promised that I wouldn't. But I'm going to. What we are going to talk about is the fact that what is being done, what is actually being done. Um, there's no transparency, obviously. You know, give me a second here. I just want to make sure I'm good to go before we get to rolling down the road and I'm talking, and y'all can't hear me or anything. Boom, boom, boom. Audio seems to be doing just fine. So we know what happened this past Tuesday night on the basketball court. What we don't know is what is being done about it, right? I know there's been some concern about us over at Andrew's podcast talking about the subject. Now, I've never been able to figure out how that works. I guess this is the new social media age where you do things, I talk about it, and then I'm the problem because I talk about something that actually happened. When in this situation, instead of trying to you know what you could have done is act like adults and said, okay, well, let's get on there and let's reach out to Jamal and set whatever story it is you want to tell. But no, you prefer me setting a narrative, and then you don't donate to the program, you don't visit the merch store, you don't do anything to support this program, yet I'm supposed to care about what you think or any of this other stuff, right? Um, if I was sitting here putting out a bunch of lies, that'd be one thing, but that's not the case. So I guess that's why we're having some of the issues that we're having now. It was suggested that I was reaching out to students to bring them on the show last night to talk about what we talk about when I had Coach Quan Pope on. And thank you to him. Thank you to the rest of the guests, Jay, Jared, and everybody that contributed last night. Okay. That's offensive, right? And it's just reflective of the type of people that are currently in the leadership now. It's that scapegoat mentality. Okay. I've never involved kids in anything that I do politically. I've got enough of a record to show that no, that it doesn't happen that way. But what I did reach out to the kids to do is to tap in and listen to show that we had with Tonk Dorsey and Stephon Boyd and Coach Smith. That's what I did tap out them to do, because none of you people are doing and none of that, right? Your focus, your focus is not in the right place. And I tell you, man, it's I just know this, okay, and I'm gonna be careful because I don't want to say too much, since you guys are listening, right? Dorchester County's not playing with that situation that happened in your gym, okay? And you're worrying about, so in the title, the word actionable, right? That's a legal term that you should probably concern yourself with instead of running around trying to whatever, okay? Because what I can assure you is that I didn't cause the problem, okay? I didn't create the atmosphere that caused the problem. And the fact that none of you adults want to acknowledge that, but what you want to do is call around. You want to, uh, uh, you know, push the responsibility everywhere where it should, everywhere except where it's supposed to be. Now, me asking a question that, again, I'm from I guess a different world than most people, because for me to ask a question, right? Now, keep in mind, just a podcast, just an opinion, okay? And all of us know, like, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. The problem is that my opinion is hitting home because it's actually factual. It's factually based. It's based in some relevance. So when you have a on-court riot, right? At some point, seems as if the leadership should take an assessment. Where was the breakdowns at? Okay. Or is it just the kids' faults? Like, here are some suggestions, since you guys don't have the brain power or the whatever, since you're worried about everything else except, what I would say to you is, if your punishment does not reflect the same that what they're doing in Dorchester County, then you're the problem. Okay. But when you have an on-court riot and you don't want to be questioned, like, somebody should be fired, because obviously there was a breakdown somewhere. What is your communication protocol? Again, you've had examples to show you. Was there ever a situation when okay, when what are your deputies doing? Have we heard anything from them? You had a riot. You had a flat out riot on the damn court. None of the players were worried about being thrown out, because when you leave the bench, you know what that is. So I'm not supposed to say if that's why we're not successful at these at running things, because of the way we, like, and our approach to the media. I ignore a lot of you because I really understand you're limited mentally. You don't understand how, you really think I care about these stories, and a lot of times you really, and it's because you don't respect what I do. That doesn't mean I have to respect your ignorance. You understand what I'm saying? I don't have to qualify the knowledge in my head with the ignorance that's in yours. And so my thing is, I will leave you there in your ignorance. But when you have an on-court riot, as this thing started to build up, did anybody think about getting the security, the police, the chiefs, the deputies and all these other people, positioning them someplace on the court? Like, none of this ever, because it's just some wild young niggas on the court playing court, and we can just wipe it off as that. We don't have to sit back and do any assessment as to what led to this. And that's a sign of poor leadership. But you have these breakdowns and you don't hear anything from the leadership. Nothing. So, how many deputies were on site that night? Here's some questions that you should be, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to help you in your leadership role. Where were these deputies when this took place? Did anybody go back and do an assessment as to how long it took to get this under control? No. What factors led to this riot? And when I mean what factors, I saw a comment. My homeboy, Mr. Dorsey, was saying that, and he was right. Yeah, I get to the game, I yell at referees too, but there's a line. There's a point. When I sit and see adults sitting there mad and screaming at it's a fucking game. At the end of the day, it is a game. It is a game. And that was part of the conversation. And for somebody to sit and listen to a podcast, a whole podcast, you're very disingenuous when you can listen to a podcast and, again, hear all of this stuff, but then go and pick out one part. Oh, they said that people should be fired. And I'll say it again, people should be fired. You had a damn riot on the court, an actual riot. The problem is we're too, if you see the kids in those videos, so I'm talking about cheerleaders, girls coming off the court, laughing in the middle of a riot. I also want to commend those kids that decided to stay in the bleachers and not get involved in that. What I would suggest to those kids is the next time something like that happens, leave, man. Anytime some of that stuff like that pop off, leave. If you're sitting around, you reading the room, you paying attention to what's going on, you feel it coming to that, leave. Because at the end of the day, it's not worth it. Because, again, situations like that, you start training yourself to standing around watching these fights. Situation like that pop off in a club, your mind is in the same place. You think I'm gonna stand around, and that's when the innocent person gets shot standing around. So you need to train your child, and you need to train yourself. When that type of stuff pop off, leave. We got this tendency to want to run to it and pull out the phone and film it. None of this kind of stuff is being addressed. None of this kind of stuff. But you mad because I'm talking about y'all being idiots. The environment is not an intelligent environment. That will never be acknowledged. The problem with what happened the other night is me talking about it. That's the problem. Yet none of these people that got a problem with it. Hey, man, my mom died when I was very, very young. Okay, my grandfather, you feel what I'm saying? He ain't gonna get into what you know what I mean. He's gonna ask you, is he lying on you? The friends that I have, very loyal friends. They know me. They know how I am. And it's a lot of things that, You know what I mean? Once things happen, you can't respect it because you can't go back and redo things. You feel what I'm saying? What do they say? It's the first time to make a take. You got one time to make a first impression. So you don't get to come back and then respect me later. Like, okay, well, okay, no, I don't, because I don't continue to ignore me, please. That's the easiest thing to do. Just act like I'm not there. But does that fix that problem? Does that fix that problem? If I didn't get on this internet no more, because okay, let's get back into what I was saying about that word actionable. That's a legal term. There was a kid lynched on that court. That's what you should be worried about. You should be worried about the legal ramifications of a parent suing a school for not providing proper for not providing the proper right for not providing the proper protection for a child on that court. That's your problem. Jamal Richardson is not your problem. Your problem is telling the people at the district what led to, okay? Because that's the questions you're supposed to be answering as a leader. What led up to, what do you think? What's your assessment? Well, it was the kids. They pop. And it wasn't the kids. Okay? Because again, an on-court fight between basketball players is nothing out of the norm, out of that. That's not. We've seen that before. Players getting testy, is getting chippy. The problem is when people running on off the sidelines. See, that's the way, and that's why I was able to reach out to somebody on the other side, because I wanted to hear the other side. Kid went up for the dunk, bam, 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 bam. Before you know it, one kid pushes, swing, here comes everybody on the court. But y'all so slow, not understanding what was going on with this media thing in 2025. In 2025. In 2025. And I'm sure you got a media department in them schools that you don't use because but here you guys are running around, spending part of your day talking about a damn YouTuber, a podcaster, but you're supposed to be educators. But you spending your time making phone calls, calling around about a damn podcaster who has opinions. But you haven't offered the people, the parents, and nobody any kind of damn real answer as to what the hell is that we watched. It's just he don't know what he's talking about. But you put kids in a dangerous position. I didn't did it. You're in charge. It goes with the property. It's just how it is. And when nobody calls people into question, dangerous things continue to happen. Look at the situation at Georgetown High with the two assistant coaches. Allegedly, one coach was teasing the other coach. It was just words, sticks and stones. It was just words. And apparently people got a problem. I saw somebody put up a picture with that white guy that was alleged with the child pornography, and I was trying to understand the comparison, but my brain, I'm not doing that to my brain. I'm not doing that to my brain. as if one thing has anything to do with the other. That guy's a pervert. Hopefully, the law does what it's supposed to do. This other guy's an idiot. I don't care how nice you are. You are a damn idiot when you go to your car after some words between two things. And again, now we're talking again about leadership, because who is in charge of the two assistant coaches? Do you think he don't know, or should he have known that there was a situation between these two coaches that he should have been monitoring, to the point that where one was so soft? That's the problem with a lot of these people. They're soft. They weak. This man was so weak and so soft, he went up to his car to get a gun. It ain't no more of this right here, even with the old ones. He went to get a gun at a school where kids were practicing basketball at. Then immediately, now he's a volunteer assistant coach. Like that, you know what I mean? That absolves the school, you know what I mean, from having safeguards in place to protect these children from idiots. I'm gonna say this again. Keep your eye on what they do over there. And if it doesn't match, you guys should be really concerned in Georgetown County. You should be really concerned. I'll say this right here. They don't play around with that kind of thing in Dorchester. They don't play around. They don't play around. It'll be public hearing soon. I'm just giving you a little, since you're mad at me, let me help you out. And the sheriff, the young lady that was there, she's highly decorated. Well, I don't know if decorated, but I know she gets a lot of awards. She was in the middle of the floor, lost. I felt like, whoa. I'm sorry, I'm not what are all these damn new words they got? Misogynist or whatever the hell. But nah, I'm sorry, sweetheart. You were not built for that position right there. That situation right there, you did not. You did not. You were like, woo. And here's the thing. Y'all mad at me, and I'm just looking at the videotape. My cameras are here. My cameras wasn't there. I mean, did you have enough security there? And again, what were you guys doing at the point of, were you eating hot dogs like Pat said? What were you doing? Where was your antennas at when the intensity started to rise? What is the temperature of the gym? What is your, like after the gym was cleared the last time when I was there? What was the results of that? I mean, who was, obviously somebody caused the gym to be closed because or you just wanted, what they wanted to finish the game by themselves. What was the results of that? That's what I'm saying. These things go unchecked until you have a on court riot, a full on riot, not just a fight between. I'm talking about a full on riot where you got people leaving the stands to participate in this, and it's on film. And it's my fault because I'm talking about it, and I just won't shut up about it. I'm the one that did that. And I'm asking too much for somebody to be held responsible for that. Because if you're not holding anybody responsible, I would not suggest anybody go and be in a situation where, you know, things like that can happen, and you know, nothing's, yeah, it's the players, suspend the players, and that's what the conversation was about last night. Institution of control. But the whole podcast, all you heard was Jamal said somebody should get fired. Yes. I was asking the question, does it rise to that level? No, now I'm sure that's what that should happen. Because if you guys are this soft, right? And if you have this much problem with what I'm saying, and you don't have enough balls to reach out to me, you should probably just go back to ignoring me. Your staff knows how to. Some of your staff members know how to use uh email and social media. Hell, they on social media doing times you would expect them to be doing instruction hours, but the kids can't have phones. But you know, because they're adults. Too much you know, that's the thing. To go along, get along. You know, he doesn't like me. I don't like nobody. I don't like dogs. I don't like dogs, cats. I don't like rainbows. I don't like sunny days. I don't like blacks, whites, Jews, Indians, men, women, midgets. I don't like nothing. Let's go over some more of these things. How many deputies is there? And obviously the amount of deputies that you have there now is not enough. That situation just showed you that whatever security plan y'all had in place to stop riots, that plan doesn't work. Who's over that type of thing? Did you have a meeting with them today? Or did you sit around and talk about what Jamal was talking about? You know what Jamal didn't do today? Jamal didn't go to any of y'all pages. But I kept not being able to get any work done because I kept getting interrupted. That's where the messages go right there. See that? Jamal 843 at andrewsthepodcast.com. That's the email address. But no, know this. When you choose to go talk about me before you come talk to me, I treat you where I meet you. Okay? I treat you where I meet you. And I know some people are not used to that kind of thing. That's why my circle of friends is as small as it is. We don't go talking about each other behind each other's back. But you're not from. I don't know where you're from. I don't care. But that's not cool. The easiest thing is just ignore me, man. You know what I mean? But this whole suggestion that I was bringing kids on, or I even asked any of the kids, I got access to where I don't even have to call none of them kids, and I can get whatever information I need to get it if that's what I wanted to do. What I want to do is highlight these kids and help them get to the next level, whatever that level is for them. What I see is a bunch of irresponsible adults who create dangerous situations through their incompetence, through their naivete. And I know you're not a good listener. That damn good podcast we did last night, and that's all you took away from that. If you're going to take away bad things, please tell me you took something positive away from it. If not, you just disingenuous. Is there an internal investigation going on? Did you launch an internal investigation? Or is it too much friends? You too much friends. It's hard to lead your friends. It's hard to be a leader to your friends, especially if you're not cut like that. If you're not cut with that, you know what I mean? That where you're able to compartmentalize friends and business, it's hard. And then once you set that precedent, it's hard to go back the other way. It's impossible to go back the other way. Not hard. It's impossible to go back the other way. Don't come talk to me. Come talk to the damn people, because that's who I'm speaking for. That's what you. That's what the ignorance causes people to ignore. Because at the end of the day, who am I? A nigga with an opinion. But I don't do that coward stuff. So sit around and let the people around you tell you that I'm just that and the other, and you be the ignorant one to let people dictate things like that to you. So it was an on court lynching. And you got adults who are retarded, in my opinion, who will say, "Oh well, the guy tried the wrong one," and if there's any way that you can justify this kid fighting on that court, you're retarded. You were never part of any kind of winning organization. You don't know no better. You were, raised by some overly emotional people, and that's just something that you need to hear. There's no way you should be able to, well, and for anybody that's justifying that to them kids, you're a liar. Okay, you're not setting them kids up for any kind of success for real. Harsh words, but toughen the hell up, man. It's just January. We just getting started. It's gonna be a long year. Uh, Maybe somebody need to start reteaching that sticks and stones because it's just too soft, too soft, too soft, too damn soft. And then just jump on social media and just too soft. And that's the thing. I reach out, right? I reach out to talk to um, the coach. It was earlier, I don't know, last year sometimes. When I'm sitting there and I'm like, hey man, let me get a minute with you. You know what I mean? So we can, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay. And then just walked off and just never came back. Like, okay. So when people disrespect what I do, I don't take it personally. But then there's always a situation where it comes back to where, oh, okay, now I don't like what he does because, and it's okay. Keep the same energy. Keep ignoring me. It works better for me. You know, and that's the answer to those who, oh, I see you interviewing the football coach because he gives me his damn time. He gives me the damn respect to say, okay, here, let me answer a few questions for you. No, I don't have no large media organization like some of these traditional media companies and all that. But again, I don't have to justify the knowledge in my head with the ignorance in yours. And just because you don't think of whatever it is you doing as worthy, that don't have nothing to do with me. But just know when you treat me like that, cool. Toughen the hell up though. Don't call crying to nobody about Jamal. Especially when Jamal don't run now. He don't run. He don't hide behind his words. That's what I try to do. And this is again, this is not about me. It's about information, and I put it up. I put up the information. Unfortunately, this is the type of thing that people gravitate to. You feel what I'm saying? Um, you got real situations going on in Georgetown County as we speak politically, and it's because of a lack of knowledge that we get nowhere. Um, we get nowhere fast. There are strides being made. You know, when people come together, and that's just my thing. And I get it. Everybody's not into politics. You know what I mean? I am, and so I became aware of how powerful the podcast platform is, and my goal was to be able to bring information on how local government works to the people of the 29510, which is about 11,000 people, which is right at 11,000, a little over 11,000 people. That was my goal. That was my target market. That's why a lot of the content that I do is not for mass consumption. It is for people in my the area where I'm from. And so, Again, that's why I'm creating these other podcasts, because there's other things that I do want to talk about. There's other information that I do want to get out there. But take, for example, there's a situation over in Oatland, South Carolina, right in the Brown Ferry, South Carolina, right now, where citizens are at county council trying to stop something that's already done. They going through a rezoning situation over in that area, where they're changing their zoning from residential village, which means low traffic, not too much development, um, to resort. Um, and that means motels. I have some information on that, but that means motels and commercial businesses, and the people are fighting against it, which is it's at this point it's like barking at the moon, because things have been put in place. There's a new state park being built in along 70-mile stretch from King Street up to Rocky Point, um, in Choppy, South Carolina. That's 70 miles along the Black River, and that's going to consist of kayaking, bike trails, different parcels where they're going to have different things along that river. And this is the first state park. I said a state park in the state of South Carolina in 20 plus years. Okay. So what does that mean? That means motels. That means bike rentals. That means canoe rentals. That means kayak rentals. That means a lot of different things. Most importantly, it means that for the people in that area, you should be positioning yourself for this new economy coming in. Whereas you got people there who are leaders in the community, and God bless their soul, but they're leading on bad information. And I'm going to be the one to tell you that information is wrong. And then when you get all emotional, I will calmly show you in writing why you're misleading the people to believe that, oh, well, we should keep this residential. No, what you should be doing is focusing on what's happening around you. This is the constant battle, the constant journey of what we do at Andrews the podcast. So again, I appreciate the kind words, and I appreciate your giving me your ear. You know what I mean? Because other than that, I'll just be talking in this mic by myself. You know, and I appreciate it when it feels good to know that people get something from what I do. Even if one person, that comment means a lot to me. Because again, it's not about me. I'm not that fascinating. Maybe to my daughter. You know what I mean? My kids possibly, but nah, it's about the information. And it's not about being biased. It's just because I don't care. I mean, that's not a good way to say it. I'm not. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I didn't create it, and so I just want to give it to you in a way with as much facts and um, as much facts as I can, so people can make come to their own judgment about things. And I think I find it hard to have a real judgment or a real opinion on anything when it's not based in facts. That was part of the conversation last night when Pope was saying that he couldn't really make a full assessment on the situation on the court because he didn't have all of the facts. And that's a wise way to move. You feel what I'm saying? Don't jump out the damn window all the time when you don't know what the hell is going on. A lot of times it's okay to pause for a second until you can get more information. You know what I mean? Don't get caught up into identity politics or to, you know, just drawing associations with people that has nothing to do with the facts of whatever the situation is. Again, So, but I just needed to get that off my chest. Okay. So I am going to have some officials on from Woodland High School, from the district office, and then they're going to talk about how Woodland, that school district, is handling that situation. See, because I do some real journalism work, right? See, I called them, you know what I mean? I reached out to them. Okay. So ways you guys could have reached out to me, you know what I mean? Because the platform is here for people to, you know what I mean? Don't let somebody craft a narrative about you. Okay. When you're in these public positions at these schools or in these government positions or whatever, you can sit back and act as if social media don't have the role that it has. Chill, go ahead. So, yeah, I'm tired now. Time for me to turn it in. A couple things I want to share with you guys before I get out of here real fast. Remember, the MLK Day celebration is going to be taking place Monday, January 20th, and I think the weather's going to be really cold, so bundle up. And it's going to take place at 12 noon. March starts at Andrews Town Hall, 101 North Morgan Avenue, Andrews, South Carolina, to the Martin Luther King Monument, which is on Martin Luther King Drive. It's about a 3-block walk. Keynote speaker will be Pastor Dane D. Harris, minister at the Body of Christ Ministries in Columbia, South Carolina, featuring the First Lady, Miss Sharon Harris, who, from what I'm been told, can sing. And it's never too early to start talking about. I don't have that flyer up there. I'll get it up there. And next week, we're going to have back on, this is the person we had on last year, from the NOLA network. And she's going to be talking about sudden cardiac arrest. This is a condition that affects young athletes. And so we're going to have the founder of that organization on next week. And they have an event coming up here in February, which is some pictures from last year. It's a fundraiser. It's a great event. We're going to be up there this year. Clean Feed will. And there's a flyer there. You see the stuff on my page, but that's next week on Real Talk Tuesday. The show that I love talking politics. We didn't talk politics last week because we was talking about my boys. We were talking about my boys. You know what I mean? Shout out to these two young men right here as they continue on their college journey. So yeah, and I got some of those videos. I did some breakdowns on some of those fight videos from the riot at the school. Oh man. I ain't gonna release them because it'd be my fault. You didn't have to do that, as if they don't have better footage of this stuff. I'm interested in how the high school league comes down on this also, but again, it's just my interest. Set an outro video. Might as well do a little commercial. Have a good.
Are you tired of dealing with pesky cockroaches in your home or office? Look no further than our $200 German cockroach treatment. Our program is eco-friendly, safe for both children and adults, and will quickly eliminate any cockroaches present. Plus, our fast, effective service ensures that your property will be clean and free of any mess left behind. Don't wait until it's too late. Contact us today and enjoy a cockroach-free home or office.